Sorry, Mary. At this time, I'd like to call the regular meeting to order. The time now is 7:03. Requirements of the Sunshine Law have been met. This meeting was advertised in the Brunswick County Times on January 5th of 2018. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I ask you to join me in a moment of silence, a brief moment of silence? Thank you. Roll call.
Committeewoman Berkeley. Here. Committeeman Henley.
Present.
Committeewoman Hines.
Present.
Committeewoman Smith-Hartman.
Present.
Mayor Wisniewski.
Here. Approval of tonight's agenda.
Move.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Smith-Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Approval of minutes. The regular meeting minutes of December 4th, 2018, the closed executive session minutes, December 4th, 2018, and the workshop session minutes of 12/4/18.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Smith-Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Scheduled appointments, there are none. At this time, I'd like to open the floor to the public on agenda items only. Press and hold it.
Press and hold till the green light stays on. And you have to talk right into it.
Gary Barbarian, 138 Winstead. It's agenda item number 10, the monthly reports. I had a question about the construction report that I saw in the packet. My question is, in the summary portion of the report, there's cubic footage and square footage listed both at zero. In other words, 0 cubic feet and 0 square footage. I'm just wondering if that looked right to you. I was curious if there was a typo or was there missing data? Because there was obviously activity. I guess it's possible to have 0 cubic foot and 0 square footage, but there was quite a bit of activity.
Maybe I could answer that because I used to
Go-
work in there a long
That's fine, Mary.
time ago. Maybe there were no additions or new buildings, which is why. Maybe it's just alterations on it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think that's probably the reason.
And then the other question I had on the construction report was around the waiver of some of the fees. I'm just hoping maybe at some point we can get an idea of what that really entails. Who's eligible, how often they're waived, et cetera.
Go ahead, Mary.
County buildings are not charged any building construction permit fees. We waive all the fees on all the county facilities that are in the township.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Welcome.
Any other comment from the public on agenda items? There being none, close to the public. Monthly reports, they're posted outside on the bulletin board. The police report, the West Hampton Township Emergency Services report, Public Works report, construction report, and the tax collector's report. Old business, there is none. New business, we have the engineer's status report. Ordinances 10-2018, amend the code of the Township of West Hampton, Chapter 54, Police Department. This is the second reading, and I believe we have to open this to the public.
That's correct.
After the motions. Do I have a motion to amend the code?
So moved. Second.
At this time, I will open the floor to the public for comment on this ordinance. There being no comment, close to the public. Any discussion amongst the committee on this ordinance? There being no discussion, roll call.
Berkeley?
Yes.
Henley?
Yes.
Hines?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes. Resolution 159-18, payment of vouchers. This resolution approves the payment of bills through December 18th, 2018.
Moved.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley?
No.
Henley?
Yes.
Hines?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes. Resolution 160-18, authorized appointment of administrator. This resolution authorizes the appointment of James Brady as West Hampton Township Administrator starting December 19th, 2018.
So moved.
Second. Seconded by Committeewoman Berkeley. Any discussion?
Yes, I'm thrilled.
Yes,
What?
they can't hear you in the back row, so you might.
I am thrilled. I am excited because I believe that he is going to move us forward. He is just very experienced in many, many areas, and I have complete confidence in leaving this little seat up here and going back down there when he's in charge.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
I'll second that.
I think we all are excited to get to work with Jim. Roll call?
Berkeley?
Definitely yes.
Henley?
Yes.
Hines?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes. Congratulations. Congrats.
I said we'd like to say a few words.
Resolution 161-18, sale of iPad. This resolution permits the sale of a used iPad to West Hampton Township Committee member Maureen Smith Hartman for the sum of $25.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. His iPad is 6 years old, and the life of an iPad is about ready to die, so I have no problem selling it for $25. But at the cost that we're spending now for iPads, I have a problem after if someone leaves in 2 or 3 years to allow them to buy it for $25. I think because we're going to now go on precedent, it might be wise to have an ordinance that covers this, so future people do not say, well, you did it for him or you did it for her, so I want this now. And I think that it needs to be written out when it can be and when it can't be.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley?
Yes.
Henley?
Yes.
Hines? Yes. Smith Hartman?
I've already paid for it.
I think you have to say yes.
Is that a
or no.
yes?
I guess that's yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes. Resolution 162-18, impose lien. This resolution imposes liens on homes that West Hampton Township Public Works had to mow during the 2018 year due to high grass and weeds.
Moved.
Second.
Seconded by Committeewoman Berkeley. Any discussion?
Yeah, I think it just did.
Is there any discussion on Resolution 162-18? There being none, roll call.
Berkeley?
Yes.
Henley?
Yes.
Hines?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes. Correspondences, we have a letter from Willenboro MUA. They have their 2019 rate hearing on December 31st of 2018 at 10 a.m. Committee liaison reports. Do we have any reports from their departments? Anyone?
I just would like to mention that the Board of Ed reorganization meeting is Thursday, January 3rd, 2019 at 7 p.m. It's just a different day and time, so
Okay.
Thursday.
As far as the rec department, Breakfast with Santa was a huge success. In fact, they feel like it was one of the biggest years we've ever had. So, thank you for the support to the residents, and, we look forward to continued support in the future.
Dates to remember. December 18th, 19th, and 20th is the West Hampton Township Emergency Services Santa Run. I passed the fire engines on the way in, so I know they're out and about. I put in a special request to Santa to join us, but I don't think he's interested in coming to a township meeting. January 8th, 2019, is our West Hampton Township reorganization meeting, which will be at 6 p.m. And March 21st of 2019 is the elected officials seminar, which is at O'Connor's in East Hampton at 5:30. At this time, I will open the floor to the meeting, open the floor to the public for comment. It sounded like it was on.
Winstead. Just a couple of things. I had occasion to try to access the New Jersey Sex Offender Registration site, and I just thought it might be helpful to share with some people that sometimes different web browsers will block opening that page, because when you try to get to it from NJSP, it actually takes you to Sheriff Alerts, and some web browsers are blocking that, thinking it's some sort of a spam site. So alternatively, people will probably search, just like I did, ended up on NewJersey101.5.com's website. They actually have a Halloween map of sex offenders. We are not on that list. In other words, our township is not actually listed there. So maybe it might be a good idea to see if we can have our township name added to that list. They're pulling the data from citydata.com, city-data.com. So I did actually do a search today, and it's interesting. I think that we had done sort of a mini symposium on Megan's Law. I think it was it last April we did it, do you remember?
Around then.
Yeah, and I think maybe we're probably due for another one, round two, and maybe we add to that agenda sort of an idea of how to properly search that site, because there's different ways to search. If you go to the city tab and you plug in West Hampton, you get 2 hits, that's it. Which I think is kind of, difficult to kind of make sure that we're really properly getting that information out. The way to get more information is you put in a residential street address. That's on the first tab. So, I don't know, maybe it's a public service announcement. You post somewhere up on our township website that if people need more information, they can at least navigate to that site with some better education.
Okay.
So that was one observation. The other observation, this body had passed a resolution on October the 16th. It was Resolution 140-18, opposing the application of Elcon Recycling. I happened to go to the Freeholders Board meeting on the 24th. They passed a resolution as well, opposing Elcon from operating. And then in their minutes, they actually said that they certified this and submitted it to all the municipal clerks in Burlington County. I'm just hoping that maybe you will stay in touch and see what's happening in Harrisburg with that, if we're going to continue to build that waste incinerator. And then on the 14th of November, it was in the police report, there was an incident in my development where I live in Rolling Hills East of an armed robbery getaway car fleeing from the Dunkin' Donuts, that attempt. And the issue was, one of my neighbors said the very next day that, I think it was Linda, was canvassing in the neighborhood to see if anyone had a CCTV that she could maybe take a look at. So just as a suggestion, I think I may have brought this up before, but Winslow Township, Lindenwold has a program where people can voluntarily register. They apparently give stickers to people's residents so police know who to go to, etc. So maybe we think about establishing a program similar, and I would just kind of copy what they do if it's successful and there's no issues with it. Apparently, it's a voluntary registration system. And I have something for Maureen. So, Maureen, would you come down?
Sure.
Was it a present?
So this is your last meeting.
Yes, it is.
I won't be able to make the reorganization meeting. I'll be out of town on business. I want to make sure that I caught you. And I have something for you. This is just from me, but as a thank you. If you feel like you can open it, there's a card there, but something there that... No, you can open the card later. Sure. Well, I think that hopefully I can speak for everyone. I think everyone appreciates your service, and I tried to come up with a way to sort of express my appreciation for your service to our community. I went to YouTube to figure out how to rap. So it's not quite a Christmas present. It looks like one. So I wanted to come up with something that would inspire you as well as you have perhaps inspired us. So I was able to come up with some first cover editions. This is what the post office will put out. And people can see it, but I'll just share it with everybody. Spirit of 76, American Independence. I think Maureen was really definitely independent.
Yep.
This one's dated from 1960, first day of issue, honoring the American woman. I think that was probably, I don't know, 100 years too late, honoring the American woman. And then I know that you're a patriot at heart, and nothing more beautiful than our flag, which you lead.
Well, Maureen, since you're up there, you might as well stick with it. Keep up the tradition that the police department has done. Since you've done the committee now for 3 years, you've done
Yep.
I really appreciate everything you've done for the police department. So, we know it's a lot of time and schedule and also it's just a platform. Nancy, thank you for the last few months also.
Yeah, 2 months.
We also have one for the fire department for your side as well, so thank you so much.
That's great. Yeah, he's going to be great.
Any other comments from the public?
Hi, Carl Eversmeyer, 509 Bloomfield Drive. I, too, as well, want to thank Maureen for her service. She's done a great job, and she actually helped me get in politics. I wasn't that interested, but seeing her heart and seeing her ability to multitask, with her realtor selling like 1,004 houses, I think it was in the last 2 months, and doing, working for her community. She's done a great job. I also wanted to see if there was any update. I know as far as the fire truck went, there was some numbers being thrown around 400K. I think it was like a month ago. I just didn't know if there's any leeway, and also want to reiterate the fact the firehouse, I don't know if you guys knew, it's falling apart. They need a new one. I don't know if you're waiting for Virtua to hopefully build one in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years, or if we're able to get a bond or something started. Just making sure it's not going unnoticed. And just want to wish everybody a happy holidays. I know we butt heads, everybody, but I want to be part of the solution as well, even if I'm not an elected official. I also, if you guys, I'm open, you want any ideas thrown out your way, you know, I'm more than happy to throw them out there. They may be horrible, but, yeah, I'm willing to talk anyway. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you. Any other comment from the public?
I just want to add to what everybody else said. I would like to thank
Could
Maureen
you
Smith.
just state your name? I'm sorry. State your name and address.
Lori Hustis, Canabi Drive. I would like to thank Maureen Smith Hartman for dedicated service to the residents of West Hampton Township. Your grace and dignity will be sorely missed. We will miss you.
Thank you very much, Lori.
Do we have any other comment from the public? There being no more comments, close to the public. Comments from township committee members. Linda?
Me? I'll go first. Okay, well, first, I would like to congratulate and welcome Jim. I echo everyone's comments, and I think he will be a wonderful asset for the town and the right fit. There's also someone I think really needs to be thanked, and that is Chief Ent, for stepping up and being our interim township administrator. And much like Nick Foles, you're a team player, and you've delivered. So let's give him a round of applause. And he hasn't complained or anything. I do also, Nancy, your tenure was short. Very short. However, you know I'm a flower person, so these are for you. Thank you very much. And I know in a few weeks, you'll resume your spot right there in the front row, and you will continue.
Jim, that's safe right there in
We
the
just
end.
put a reserved spot for Nancy. And what has been so wonderful is you ask a lot of questions. I think all of us would agree, you ask a lot of questions. And that's a great thing. And they're questions that need to be asked, and it's been truly an honor having you sit beside me. So thank you so much for your,
Thanks for your help.
for your service. And also, we have
Oh, I know I'm coming.
Maureen. For you.
Thank you, Linda.
You are so welcome. So, for those of you who don't know, actually, Maureen's daughter is one of my close friends, so I only knew you as Raina's mom.
Right.
But now I got to work with you and get to, have our own relationship. And I do think it's one that's been in mutual respect. We don't always agree, but that's okay. We don't always have to agree. So I thank you for your service. I know you will not be sitting in the front row in the January meeting. But
sitting in the second
row. But I know that you will continue to look out for West Hampton, and you care about us, all residents here, so thank you for your service.
Thank you, Linda.
And happy holidays, that's all I have.
Me?
Yeah,
I thought no present?
you're next.
Maybe your flowers are in the car.
Appreciate it. I'd like to welcome Jim. I'm very excited for what the future holds. I look forward, to all of us working together. Thank Chief Ent for everything he put into it. He had split duties, and he did a wonderful job at it. Again, as Linda said, never complained. Excuse me. I looked forward to working with Nancy, and now it's kind of sad, to see her go, to be honest with you. She knows I call her early in the morning, I wake her up. Occasionally you're still going to get some phone calls just to keep you honest, to wake you up. So, I do appreciate her service. I appreciate her making tough decisions when other people who may have judged her or whatever wouldn't have had the heart to do what she did. So for that, I appreciate her. I appreciate the fact that she put, her heart and soul every day into this position, and she gave her all. Whether you agree or whether you disagree, she definitely did that. So hopefully and knowingly, the other gentleman that will be coming up here to join us in January will take the same stance and do the same thing. So I look forward to that as well. Now for Maureen. I don't have any flowers or any presents. I didn't know we were exchanging gifts today, but, I think the one thing that's important is that, you know, I feel like we had a good working relationship, which is something that I didn't know if we'd had or not. And so that was definitely a pleasant surprise. I got to know Maureen, I got to understand her perspective, which, you know, wide my lens, which is always a good thing to have, you know, someone who challenges you and who helps you think things through. So for that, you know, I thank Maureen. I'll just, you know, to give you guys privy to a conversation I, you know, even just had with Nancy. You know, in this position, we form relationships and we kind of get to know each other, and there is no DNR and all this other nonsense that people may think it is. Like, I've never seen Maureen as anything different than Maureen. It was never her affiliation or anything like that. It was more or less, you know, her personality, what she was involved in, or what her agenda was, and those are the things that we discussed. So I'm sad to see you go, and I'm sure I'll see you around. Take it easy on me as a resident, because I will strike back. But I do wish you well, and again, thank you for being a part of moving West Hampton forward. I do appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'd like to say congratulations to Jim. We're excited to get to work and start moving forward. Nancy and Maureen, it's been a pleasure working with both of you, and thank you for your service.
I always kind of chuckled when people would say the only comment they had was thank you for the public for coming out. When I look at you and I realize there's at least 3 or 4 people who come every single meeting, whether there's a controversy, whether there's not a controversy, and I appreciate that. And I wish more people would come out when there's not a controversy and let this township committee know what's on your mind, because we do listen to you, and we do talk about this. I would like to hear more of what you say, and they know that just because I'm going to be sitting down there, they're going to still hear from me. I want to thank the committee, because you really have accepted me. And when I came, I said, I'm not going to act like a Democrat or a Republican, and I hope I've tried that. And I have become not only working well with you, but have gained some friends. And I hope that that continues. What I do hope, and I have explained this to the committee before, that I hope that we spend more time during the 7 o'clock meeting to explain things to the public, that we take more time to discuss things. And I know time is short and it's very hard, but that we're more open, and that when people come with ideas, that I know we can't go back and forth during the meeting time, but that later someone gets back to them and says, it's an idea where we're thinking about, it's an idea that we can't do, and why, so that people feel like at least they've been listened to. And I think that makes a big difference. I hope that we can move forward with Jim. I'm sure we will. I know that you, like I said, I'm just impressed with all of your experience that you have, from the police to recreation to administrator, and I wish you well. But thank you again, and I leave to the 2 new people. Just, I want to warn you that if you're not up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you will be, because Sandy calls people while he's driving to work, and you have to pretend like you're up.
Yes. I like to get early.
And the way to get him back is to text him during the Eagles game.
No response.
Or call them after midnight.
So thank you very much.
It's your time. Let me get this one.
You know I don't have a whole lot to say, right? Anyway, congratulations to you, Jim. It was really nice to see that all 5 of us unanimously, without a second thought the world of you, and know that you're going to do a great job. So thank you and congratulations. Stephen, thank you so much for your time. That was a tough job to fill. I mean, administrator and chief of police, how does one do that? You did it, so you proved it. I want to thank the residents. I actually have really enjoyed my 3 years here. And it's kind of bittersweet tonight, because I did enjoy it.
Welcome, Tony and Lee. Best of luck to you. Who's going to sit where? You know?
I know I'm getting a better seat.
So, thank you all. Good night.
Thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Well, thank you. It was nice talking to you. Stay in touch, okay? Dave? Oh, you do.
Dave, we have a question.